We're not against rap. We're not against rappers. But we are against those.
Something big about to happen. I hear the beat tapping. We some fly rhyming felines rapping on the track. Better yet, grab a gat, cause we hot like Enzo. Doors closed, windows up, cause that's the way we like to ride. Windy City hitting. Check mic 1 2 1 2. We live, baby.
Yo, what's up, Chicago? And welcome back to another episode of Speak Your Mind Radio. Today we have a very special guest in the building, and I forgot to introduce myself. My name is MzHipHop, aka Queen Star. And like I said, today we have a very special guest in the building. He's a rapper, an entertainer, a writer, a creative, and an artist. And he's here to talk about his newly released album, Mental Hellth Despondent. So without further ado, bring it up next to the mic, T O Lestat. How you doing?
Yo, it's your boy T O Lestat, that is.
Yeah, it's so happy. Yeah, I'm happy to be here with you because it was a lot. It was a lot to get you here, you know.
Yeah. It's been a hell of a journey since we first spoke too. So you know what I mean. I'm happy I'm able to get on and be able to do this interview. You know, I've been looking forward to it greatly.
Yeah, I have too. So with that being said, let's get started with a traditional icebreaker question for all the artists.
All right.
What does mental health mean to you outside of music?
It's a very serious issue, mental health. I've dealt with mental health my whole life. Both my brothers have too, my father. So it's been something in my family, something, a lot of people be like, oh, that's a joke. You're just sad. You're just this. You get up, get going. Mental health is very serious. It's not just something to laugh at. So, a very serious attribute of my life. It's played a big part in just who I am as an individual and what I stand for and what I try to help and how I try to help people and kids especially. Mental health is something that's very real to me. And so the album kind of came naturally to me, because I've lived with it my whole life. I'm ADHD, I'm type 2 bipolar, and recently diagnosed with PTSD with the current fucking situation with my alienation from my daughter and things of that nature. So, just the life's events cause things, so yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And everything you just said is in that album, man. You went through hell and back, and the actual title, Mental Hellth Despondent, says it all. You spelled health, Hell, then TH. So I thought that was pretty creative on your part.
Yeah, because the play on it is, because if you even look, I think I spelled it M-E, capital M-E, mental, M, capital M-E, me, mental health, my mental health, you know what I mean? So, I try to always put a play on words or have some other meaning, underlying meaning of what I'm doing and saying. Most of my songs are titled like that or have some underlying play of words. So, yeah, it's hell going through it. If you ever been through it or you know anybody that suffers from any type of mental health disorder, it can be literal hell at times. So, it's a direct pun on words, but a direct play on the reality of it,
Definitely. And I caught that immediately. So before we jump into some of my standout tracks on Mental Hellth Despondent, I want to ask you, what surprised you the most about yourself while creating this album?
That's a good question. It really is, because I didn't write the album, so to speak, in a setting. I didn't even plan on it being an album, to be honest with you. Each one of those songs was written intermittently throughout 2023 and just into 24, you know what I mean? When things started to get a little better, with a little clarity of what was going on in my life. So I didn't write the album like a typical album per se, It's just, I had them all. I wrote them for me, really, to get out of my head. Mm-hmm. And so it was a way for me to journal, but journal creatively. It's how I kind of started spitting professionally. And so, when I'm writing it, just the reality of how dark things can get, especially when I was listening back over it, when I put it together with my engineer, Cracker Rican, how dark things can get and how how, you know, alone you can feel, and how alone sometimes you really are, you know what I mean? But just so that type of shit, and how much other people can play on your mental health, you know what I mean? Whether good or bad. So it's true too, you know? So that's kind of what when I put the album together as a whole thing and put the skits and shit in there, and, you know, that's kind of how it came together. I was like, man, I'm looking back at it, I'm like, man, I was in a dark place, a low place.
Yeah.
Like some of them songs, yeah.
Like, it's so much I want to talk to you about, but like the skits, you know, the skits were creative as hell. Like, you know, I had to give it to you on that. I don't know how you got all those people together and how you wrote the script, but it was dope.
Yeah, I wrote that. So the skits came together. I was on my way out to Florida to Shadow Work Entertainment, is where I do most of my recording, you know what I mean? And so you know, I'm like, man, you know, what would make this album just solid? Because we were going out there to put it together, and I did a lot of other recordings too. I was like, you know, I should be doing some sort of skit, kind of like an old school hip hop vibe, you know, like a 90s tape, you know, when you would pop the tape in, the intro would start and it would concept all the way through and hold it together. And I was like, how am I going to do that? You know what I mean? So I'm thinking, I'm like, you know, it'd be kind of dope. I'm talking to my brother at the dot, you know, so I just kind of started thinking of it on the plane ride out there and just jotted some ideas down. When I got there, you know, there's only really 3 people that are doing it. I did a lot of the acting. I was the nurse and shit like that. So I played different roles in it myself. But I got, you know, my brother, he used to be always down with me, you know, and so I got him. I said, yo, I need you to do this. I just sent him a real quick script, you know, we'll just freestyle like we was normally talking, bro, you know. So I'm really talking to my brother at the beginning. And then the doctor is my Puerto Rican son. I was like, yo, I need you to play this doctor. And he just started doing some weird voices. I was like, that one right there, dude. That's the doctor right there. Dr. Feelgood, you know? Feel good. Today. So Motley Crue pun on words, right? And then Crack the doctor, the police officer at the end. So there's only 3 people and myself.
You did an amazing job. Like, I'm so proud of you. Like, I love the skits because it did have that 90s old school vibe to it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. And I really like it because it plays like, brings in the next 3 songs, 2 songs, the next chapter.
Yeah.
When I put it together, I'm a very artist on a lot of things I do. Songwriting as well as composition of albums and stuff. So, you know, I was like, what can make it as a story, so to speak? And so I thought, why not go with the doctors, talk to the doctor, kind of lose my shit, you know, and then get pulled out 5150. I mean, that's like a beautiful way to end the album, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
That.
Yeah, it was dope. But like, okay, let's get into my standout track. So I noticed in the track Hard Times, you're like navigating through, you know, your dark themes in life and anguish and struggle. I get that. And you come across it through your rhymes, and it shows that you were really, really dead inside, you know, but you found a silver lining in it all in a song. So I want to ask you, bro, like, how does this Hard Times track relate to your situation today?
It's the lowest point I've ever been in my life, and I'm not gonna front, you know, because I try to keep it real with people. Because, you know, T O Lestat brand stands for the people in the struggle. That's really what I'm about, and I try to represent that always. And so this is reality rhymes at its finest, in the sense of this is real life. So when I wrote Hard Times, it was a beat that I got from J Slug 500, and he's like, man, I need you to write on these beats, T.O. Next time you come in the studio, you better have one. And I'm sitting in my apartment one day all alone, you know, and no joke, man, I was at a point where I was ready to like take it, you know what I mean? I was ready to be done with it, son. And you know, I had the ISO to that right there, ready to pull it. And so I'm just thinking, I'm thinking of my daughter, really. You know, it's the biggest thing that keeps me going. Daughter and music, because music has really always been an avenue for me to get out of my head. I used to just journal it, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna do this. And so when I wrote Hard Times, I was sitting on the floor crying, gun in my mouth, you know what I mean, ready to blow my brains out, literally. And I said, no, fuck that, man. I've come too far. I haven't pulled myself, and God hasn't pulled me through this mud and muck to drop me off here and give the person that wants this. I said, I ain't gonna do it. So I turned to the pen, you know what I mean? I put the beat on, and it just flowed immediately. The whole song came out in one spit, like almost. I wrote it probably like 11. I was done writing it like, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 in the morning. And then I went to work the next day, and I was like, all right, you know? So that song came right out of pure agony and pain. The lowest I've ever felt in my life, when I felt nobody was there, no one cared. I didn't care about myself anymore. And so that I remembered, you know, my daughter and music, you know, and people, again, don't give in to this. People need to hear this. This is real life. People don't talk about this stuff because it's cliche, or it's, you know, it's not the topic. It's, you know, you're sad, or it's downplayed. Real life, man. A lot of people probably go through this. So
yes, definitely. It's very, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's very fucking relatable. You hear me? So I'm glad you put this album out, and I got to give it to you again. I'm saying, for the creativity, for the bullshit that you've been through. You made it into art.
Yeah. And I use therapy. I really do. And so that's one of the things I've been talking with my AI on, you know, because I'm not against AI helping. I'm against it in its creative process. You're not me, so you can't write my thoughts. But streamlining it, utilizing it to push what you don't have to do the busy work no more. You know what I mean? Right. Let it take it. That's what it's good at, you know? And so one of the things I'm gonna be doing when I'm setting up the foundation, so to speak, and that's one of the pillars we stand on, is mental health, and, you know, turning music into therapy and art into therapy in general for kids and young adults. So that's what we're gonna be getting together when I can get it back together, you know? I'm in the grind right now again. I'm back homeless again, as you can see. So, you know, by no doing of mine, but you either struggle and give up, or you struggle and push forth. You know, nature is sink or swim, fly or fall. You know what I mean? And so you got to do one or the other. It's not going to be in between.
Right, exactly. I definitely understood that. And moving on to the next track, Giving Up and In. This track made me think, yo. It made me, for real, count all of my blessings and all of my wins. And I felt like in this song, hell, in every song really, you just wanted to give up. And I like the line when you say, I often feel puzzled and confined as the pieces reveal trouble. I heed caution and stick to my shit. Even with people's help from time to time, it's a hard struggle on hard line to show and prove. And sometimes I can find a sound mind. Those lines right there, they hit. You hear me? They freaking hit.
Yeah, it's a deep bar. You know, I have to say it real quick, because then I can spit it. Cause I'm so terrible at remembering my lyrics. I literally have like 150 songs recorded, 75 more to record. So wow. I got so many songs written.
Okay, I'll read it again.
And then I'll be able to, once you hear it, I'll be able to spit it right off again.
Okay. I often feel puzzled and confined as the pieces reveal trouble. I heed caution and stick to my shit. Even
I often feel puzzled and confined as I heed caution and stick to mine.
Yes.
You know, I don't put shit in it, because everything I do is like I try to write like a real smooth rhyme scheme, bouncing words off of each other. You know what I mean? And so yeah, that bar right there is truth. You know, because you think about showing and proving. You are who you say you are, you know, and you can say whatever you want, but it's in your actions. You know, don't talk about it, be about it type stuff. And so I'm surviving, I'm making moves, you know, and that's truth. I find trouble and I stick to mine. Like right now, I'm by myself. You know, there's a lot of people that are out here homeless. There really is, man. And I do my hardest to stick alone, because I'm not trying to fall into the crowd, right? Because when you're out here, you got two choices, really. You're either going to do it forever and you're okay with that, or you're just getting through it. You're doing whatever you can to get by, and you're not falling into the crowd, because they're using drugs, alcohol. They're almost enjoying it. It's like, I don't enjoy this by any means, man. I wouldn't wish homelessness on my worst enemy. And so, like, you've got to stick to yours sometimes. You can't reveal what you're doing, because people will take advantage of that or downplay it. And so, yeah. And then I'll, look for a sound mind. I'm looking for some help, and I can't find it, and I can't even find it in myself sometimes, you know what I mean? So it's a dope bar. It's a dope bar. That whole song actually is really super reflective, you know, because I wrote that as one of the last songs I wrote when things were getting better, and, you know, I actually went homeless the first time and found another spot, got another job. And so, like, you know, the silver lining is if you keep pushing, you know, you don't got to give up. I feel like it, but you can't give up. You're going to give the win away then. You're just going to give the win away. You got to work for the win. The other party does. I'm not going to give it to you. I'm going to try everything I can to push through because I can.
That's right. And that's how you got to feel about yourself. But like all your rhymes, they hit with intensity, and especially on the track, it's called No More. You go, I suck at life, can't get it right. I fight and I fight. I wish I would have taken flight or slit my wrist in this bullshit. Put this AK-47 to my lip with a full clip. Blow, who missed me now? Don't miss me. I don't want your affection. I'd rather say fuck it. Like, damn, what was you going through during this song?
So No More really is about, it's really when the alienation of my daughter kicked in, and I'm like, man, like, she really going to keep my kid from me. You know, at that point, it was only like a couple of months. Now it's been 2 years I haven't seen my kid. You know what I mean? So I really was like, man, I can't take no more of this shit, right? And I'm thinking, man, what could I have done differently, you know? How could I have done it different? It's like, fuck it, nothing. I did everything I can to do. And it's like, when you get to the point where you say, you know, I'd rather put this AK-47, slit my wrist, or put this chopper in my mouth and blow my brains out, you're at a point where you're like, no more. You just can't take it. It's you're at the last straw, and that's that. You know what I mean? And so I had, you know, I was talking to a girl at the time. I was like, I don't want your affection. Because I didn't want to be in a relationship, and you know, I didn't trust people. I still don't trust a lot of people. You know what I mean? And so that's that bar right there. I don't want your affection.
Right.
I'd rather say fuck it, down the wrong direction. Forgive me. I'm just being honest. I can't take much more of this. I promise. I could vomit, but I ain't shit in people's eyes. I try, but I'm dying inside. You know what I mean? So it's just the constant back and forth of, okay, I'm getting a little bit ahead to take 3 steps back, 2 steps forward, 4 steps back type shit. So, you know, when you get into that groove, and it is a groove, it's a pattern you put yourself in all day, and it's hard to break out of. You got to recognize what's keeping you there and what you can change, what can be different, and how can you capitalize on that. And so that's really what the track is about. Yeah,
definitely. That was one of my favorite tracks, and I actually
it's got a real jazzy kind of rendition to it. That beat, Imminent Productions did most of the beats on it. So shouts out Imminent Production. He out of BSF in Buffalo, and with Street Soprano, he really in that movement. Trust that movement right there. Imminent's my guy. Yeah.
You got good people behind you with this production, I'm telling you.
I mean, Imminent Production with BSF, Slug is from No Limit back in the day. He got a couple albums with No Limit, plus he did a lot of the production, and on like Silk's couple early ones, and a lot of the, as Master P was adding mad people, he had a team of producers in there, Slug told me, and so he was one of them, and he a dope producer. He got a platinum plaque on his studio wall. So I jumped in the game blessed. One of the dopest producers in the game, a legend of a engineer, and then I found Cracker Rican, and he's been in this game for a minute, and he does big things. He's an entrepreneur in the music industry, so I'm really blessed. And so that's why I was able to take it serious, because I'm like, man, I got dope rhymes, man, and I got dope beats and dope production. This shit needs to hit the air. Someone might like this, actually,
Yeah, definitely, like me.
So I put my first track out, was it February of 23.
Wow. So you only been doing music for 2 years or 3 years?
2 years professionally. I've been writing since I was a kid. I wrote my first rhyme in 3rd grade, to a Clan beat. It was like the runoff on the tape. You know what I mean? It was like 30 seconds. So I just kept looping it back, and I wrote to it. And, my brothers, because I'm a triplet, and so my brothers are like, yo, spit that for mom. He wrote a really cool rhyme, mom. I'm like, I was embarrassed. And so, it swore in it, of course. And so I spit the bar from my mom, and my mom has always been, she's an educated woman, takes highly to doing creativity and things like that. And so she's like, I like that, son, keep doing that. That's really good. And so that was the first time I was like, okay, I like doing this. And so I've been writing since I was a kid, whether poetry or rhymes, a lot of times to get out of my head, just so I don't stew on things, because that's the ADHD in me and stuff. So, I did it for the first time, is when the divorce happened and the alienation and the lies began. And so I was homeless then, and my buddy let me sleep on his couch for a month. And so I'm in the backyard just journaling. And that's where a lot of my early songs came. They were just journaling. And, I do things in a rhyme form because it's just how it kind of does in my head. But the creativity also takes you out of that space and time. You know what I mean? because now you're not thinking about your situation, you're processing differently. And so that's how I kind of used it. And then I linked with him in it through King Ralph in Buffalo. And I was like, sold. You know, me and him been building since then, August of 22.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So what about the cover art? How did you come up with that? Because it looks like a soul trapped in hell. To me, it does.
That's the actual picture too. That's a picture of me. I was doing a video shoot for my Insights album. The video unfortunately never came out because the guy stuck me on the video, but I got all the raw footage. And my boy Code, shouts out to my boy Code. He's a day one person, only one day one left with me. And so he came over and he's taking behind the scene footage and, you know, snapshots and stuff. And I'm in my bathtub doing a scene where I'm like going crazy. And that's so the picture, you know, I'm like and stuff. And so I took that image because I do all my own artwork. I do all my own videography. I do all my own editing. I do everything. I do all my own self. So I played around with the picture and got the original image. And then, so this is the Despondent edition. I had released this album once before, but distribution sucks, and so does Spotify. So I pulled it down, playing me, and I re-released it, you know, with 4 more tracks and new artwork. And, you know, I do got the album coming, the hardcover vinyl and tape cassettes. And everyone that buys that will get, you know, the extra artwork that comes with it, the digital free, and then the mixtape, Mental Health I Need Help mixtape, which is all off the Dome freestyles.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm coming out pretty soon. So people be looking on that. You know, look out for that. And anybody that's messing with me interview wise, you know what I mean, and DJ wise, I got you guys. I'm just gonna send you a tape cassette or a vinyl just for you to have. You know what I mean? Because I appreciate y'all. People don't realize that you guys are the gatekeeper in a sense, the key to the people. And so I try to build with everybody, and I appreciate it. You know, nothing comes for free. You know, our time is our time, but more than that, the momentum that it can pick up from great interviews and great DJ spins is priceless. It's worth more than anything in the world. And so I want to take care of them people, so we always are building and bonding as we grow, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It's a circle of life. And I just want to give you like good vibes because you have great energy. You have excellent energy. And I just want to wish you a happy fucking life. Not a new year, but a happy life. You know what I'm talking about? And just everything just taking care of you and your daughter, your family, the people that's in your corner, your producers, everybody, because you got something and you need to keep going with it, period.
I appreciate it. And you know, right now, if you look on my platforms, like it'll say, so Mental Health is my first album ever released. It's not really true. I got mad tracks out. You know, they're all on Apple though, because Apple don't take your stuff down. Again, I had a distribution issue and I was like, man, they're screwing me. Like literally, I have 13 million streams. I'm getting screwed. Like, why is this? And so I'm looking, and I'm like, you know, 13 million streams when we were kids, man, would equate to a platinum album of some sort, or at least a gold damn album. You know what I mean? And so I kind of took that into consideration, pulled it down. I'm buying my own ISRCs and stuff. I'm not letting distribution control that. Do the copywriting and all that the proper way, publishing, and you know, to handle your business. So I pulled everything down, so it's all mine, you know? Nobody gonna touch on it, no one can take it. Now when I pass, it's all my daughters, all my sync licensing, everything that I've been doing. She's a business owner.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
well,
so that's the goal.
You.
I really got mad tracks. I got 2 more other albums, Insights and T O Lestat. That's the anti-government album.
Wow.
You know what I mean? T O Lestat is what's the name of it? Damn, I can't remember it. I'll think of it though.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much for stepping on Speak Your Mind Radio. It means a lot to me. Your story is awesome. I can't wait to edit and put this interview out so other people can hear it, because people need to know, you know what I'm saying, that their mental health is important. And this album shows that. I mean, look at you. You're radiating with creativity. You're sitting on $1 million gold mine, bro.
I hope so. I hope somebody sees it that way. You know what I mean? And here's the thing. I don't care about the money. I'm not really in it to make money because I'm in a bad spot now, but I'm a master teacher, a master carpenter. I've played skills my whole life. I've been a series of unfortunate events, and sometimes you can't get out of that, you know, or sometimes it takes a minute to get out of that. Mm-hmm. And you just got to keep pushing. You know, that's the whole theory of the album is, You know, I'm not glorifying drug use or depression or suicidal ideations, but they're very real. And you know, if you see it through, you know, play the tape forward, as they say, you know, think good things can come. So keep your people in your corner, reach out to people. And, you know, to people out there that think they have somebody out there that's suffering, they are. I promise you. Call them, drop a line, stop by. Don't just assume they're okay. Keep up with them. They need you more than you realize, you know what I mean? So that's real talk right there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you again for stopping on the show today. Is there any parting words you want to leave with your audience?
Yeah, you know, just keep pushing, man. You know, keep doing your thing. Don't let nobody tell you anything about yourself, because they don't really know. They're going off their own false assumptions, and they're you know, they come in a lot of times with their mind made up about you. You know, and the cover ain't always what the book seems, you know what I mean? Like, that's real talk. You might look at a situation and it's not what it is, you know? So, you know, I'm homeless, but I'm not homeless because of most reasons, right? Using drugs or, you know, whatever it is. I'm homeless because I can't get a job right now because I got a bad name behind me and I lost my livelihood. And, you know, so I've been building to try to just build back. So always represent yourself well. Always put your best foot forward, lead with love, and just keep opening yourself to the world. And if they don't like you, do it for yourself at least. Forget everybody else. You know, period.
Yes, definitely. Do your thing. Yes, period.
Yeah, do your thing more than you think. And I got to remind myself that sometimes, man. So interviews like this help me do that.
Definitely. And hopefully this isn't your last time on the show. So I'll be looking forward to more music from you, and I'll be following you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I do.
You're welcome. All right. Peace out, Chicago. One love, and stay tuned for the next episode. Peace.
Oh, one last thing. Buying those CDs and tape cassettes beyond my IG and stuff soon. So, you know what I mean? Keep an eyeball out for that. Like I said, I got a lot of free stuff I'm giving away because I'm for the fans. You know, the bag is going to come. If it comes, if it don't, I'm still going to put my creativity out so people can resonate with it.
Definitely. You know what I mean? What's your IG again?
My IG is TO_Lestat. Facebook is T O Lestat, and TikTok is one of those two variations for every single platform. So, you know, you can find me wherever you at. I'm there.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you again, and I'll talk to you guys later. What's that?
Yeah. Stay blessed.
Thank you. You stay blessed too, bro.
Yep, you too.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.